like a cultist.
That'd be cool. We should do a video.
Look,
like
I could
that.
do double hoods. So you got the one hood.
Whoa.
And then I have my second over hood.
That's like.
It's too many hoods. Hi, everybody.
Hello, investigators.
Oh, that was clever.
Yeah.
Hello, investigators. It's Kyle and Tyler here.
Just been doing that for like every video.
Have you?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
No, it's true.
I'm bad at this. We should probably find a new host for you, co-host for you.
Never noticed.
We're back again to do another review for Arkham Horror. This is the third pack of the Path of Carcosa cycle.
I believe so.
Okay, it's called The Phantom of Truth. Yeah. Wow. So we're gonna just dive right into it today and go into these cards. The first card, as you can see up on the screen right now, is called. Make sure I recorded. Okay, we're good. I didn't hit start streaming. I hit start recording. It's called "I'll See You in Hell." I wonder if we're gonna get flagged on YouTube for saying a card name like that.
Probably. We just lost all of our monetization.
Oh, crap. Sorry, shop. This isn't monetized. It's 0 cost event. It has two fighty icons, and it's a spirit card. It says each not only enemy engaged with you is defeated. You are defeated and suffer 1 physical trauma. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. And this is cool flavor text.
Yeah.
He flicked open the lighter and made his peace.
Die hard style.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Throws it, and that's that. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
So for 1 physical trauma, which wouldn't necessarily mean that much to someone who's like already a guard or a protector. What we got made fun of last time for calling them guardians.
Oh really?
They're called,
we did. We don't call anything correctly. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep calling them guardians. I think because it's wrong. Or protectors. I don't know which one's right anymore. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's truth.
We're gonna call them warriors.
Okay, the warrior class, the blue class. Like they usually have a lot of health to spare. So 1 physical trauma to defeat a bunch of enemies isn't that bad.
Yeah. I didn't know what to feel. I thought it was a really cool idea. I didn't know what to feel. I know there was a lot of situations that we've come across where like, hey, this would have been really cool, but I usually like avoiding mental traumas and physical traumas.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Traumas in general.
Yeah, traumas in general. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how to feel. They usually like they do me a trouble.
They do you a hurting.
Yeah, they do me. Yeah. So I didn't know how I felt about it.
I like the idea that you've just turned whatever your guardian character is into like a time bomb. So you're just sitting there like, just gotta wait till I draw this. I'll see you in hell this campaign turn, and I can take 3 physical traumas. Let's say you say like you don't want to get more than 3 from this card. It means 3 in 3 games, you can basically set yourself on fire and blow up.
Yeah.
And then you can be like, okay, cool. Where are we at? Is everybody else okay?
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of cool. Is that like you've turned this class into just a time bomb. Where if things just get out of hand, you're like, okay, let's reset the board a little bit, and then you just are out, but then everybody else is there.
And I guess if you're getting mobbed and about to go down anyway, this is a good
It's a good top deck.
Yeah.
And 2 fist icons isn't bad. That's the double icons on a single card is good, especially since this is a 0 cost. It's just that you don't want to do it when you're like full, like first turn of the game. You're like, oh man, there's too many enemies out. I'm out. I'm out.
Oh yeah, true.
Auto. I wonder if this card would do something where if a card is like, if every character resigns or is defeated, you like do the thing, but you can't get out quick enough, so you're about to like doom out or get a bad ending. If you just murder yourself and then get the better one because you're now out and defeated, as opposed to being like, having the doom go out or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good
matters.
situational type easy out, sort of like I'm out here, but
but it's like a suicide version. I mean, it is dark in the Arkham universe, so suicide's always an option. That was really dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next card we have is a 45 automatic. It's a 4 cost asset with 2 experience pips. It has a agility icon and a fighty icon. It's an item, weapon, firearm, so all those keywords are important for the Protector Guardian class because they have cards that care about them.
The Warrior class.
The Warriors, the Paladins. And there's like cards like Contraband care about this stuff too, so you can put more ammo tokens on it. It uses 4 ammo, and it says spend 1 ammo and fight. You get +2 for this attack. It deals +1 damage and ignores the retaliate keyword for this attack. I think that last part's pretty sweet.
That one was very, very nice.
I think it gives you an extra fight over the other one too, because the other one's just +1 fight, +1 damage.
Yes, it is just +1 fight.
So
extra fists.
Seems
So
cool.
just solid upgrade. I think it gave you 1 extra ammo. I didn't get a chance to look
Okay.
before we.
Yeah, neither. I mean, because we don't do
got
that here. This is casual. Okay, everybody, calm down.
Yeah, I ran out of time before we started recording.
Pretty solid upgrade.
Yeah, it's just a general upgrade, and straight up upgrades are always good.
This is a really good card for like those end of scenario bosses that just like wreck you, or certain individuals in the Carcosa campaign that are just really annoying, that have retaliate for like no reason
exactly.
almost. I think that's cool that you get the damage. I mean, 2 damage for an MO that can't retaliate, and you get +2.
Yeah, and there are a few like small creatures that have like retaliate for some reason. And it's really annoying, and this one is really good for them. So
the other thing I like too is it makes me want to play extra ammo more, which is cool. So like when you have maybe 20 experience or something like that, maybe not that much, but maybe when you have 10 or 15 experience, having this card and extra ammunition, the guy was like holding the thing looking at the ammo, means you can use this card a lot more efficiently.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of cool stuff that can bounce resources too. Like there's that rogue card that came out in like the last few packs where you can like play an asset and then you can like use it, and at the end of the turn it bounces back to your hand. That could be really cool for something like this.
One in this.
Is there?
This set.
Maybe I'm thinking of that one. You're crazy. I don't believe you. You've lost your mind. All right, that's all for the Guardian, Protector, Warrior, Paladin cards. Let's move on to the first Seeker card. This card I think is super cool. It's a 2-cost event with 2 willpower icons on it. It's an insight card called Logical Reasoning. It says play only if you have at least 1 clue, which is very common for Seekers to have. Choose an investigator at your location. That investigator either heals 2 horror or discards a terror card from her threat area. Again, because we're bad at this and not prepared, I don't know how many threat cards are terror cards, but I assume it's an amount that's significant.
Yeah, but that wasn't like the thing I was like mostly excited about. I was excited about the healing horror because it was from like just any investigator at the location, and then it was like the Seeker just had to have the clue instead. Usually it's just at the location.
Oh, that's cool too. Yeah, so if they have it on them, it's supposed to be on the location.
And sometimes like the location doesn't like have the clue, or there's a horrible creature lurking at the location or something like that, preventing you from doing it. Like this one, like the clue goes with the Seeker. So, I mean, if you're a good Seeker, which usually they are, like you usually have a clue.
I like the theme too. Like thinking about something logically can make you not as scared of it. That's kind of cool. Yeah. And the flavor text is Plato's from the Republic, which I thought was kind of fun. That you know nothing. I know nothing. You know something, but I know nothing. And that's why I'm wiser than you. Or something like that. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's not. You just start the game with it too, which is pretty solid. Yeah. So healing is good when it's not in Guardian, Protector, Warrior, Paladin class, because there's like very few cards outside of that class that can heal, and those are always good to throw in when you can. Next up we have Archaic Glyphs, and this is kind of cool. So in the first cycle in the Dunwich cycle we had Strange Solution, and that was the card that you investigate and you do some stuff, and once you figured out, right? Then this one, it's Archaic Glyphs, and we got our 2 upgrades for Archaic Glyphs here in this pack, so we get to look at them. The first Archaic Glyphs is called Guiding Stones, so each of these has a different subname. I believe you can still only have 2 Archaic Glyphs in there, but you can have any combination of the 2. Like, since the names are the same, you can only have 2 Archaic Glyphs, but you could have 1 of each or both of the same one. It's a 3 experience, 2-cost asset. It's got a willpower icon and a lore icon or a book icon. It's a spell, which is kind of cool. So I think that's interesting. And this means that our shaman can have it in her deck. Yeah. You can only include this asset in your deck by upgrading from Archaic Glyphs untranslated, and only if you have translated the glyphs in your campaign log. So you can, this one, unlike the Strange Solution, if the Strange Solution is figured out by anybody in your party, your campaign log has you solved the solution or whatever, which means anybody can have that card if their deck were to allow it. This card specifically requires you to upgrade it. So you have to have the first Archaic Glyphs in your deck before you can play this card or upgrade to this card. But It has 3 charges on it, and it says spend a charge to investigate, and for every 2 points you succeed, discover an additional clue at your location. Whew, that's cool.
That's really great.
That could be like game winning in the right scenario.
It's like a 3 uses of. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the card name.
The one that's deduction.
Deduction, yeah.
And it can. I love that it can overdo itself too. Like this is one of those ones where you play that rogue card that you didn't think was good. The one that like you get +2 on your test when you're done.
Yeah.
And you get an extra clue for free or for 1.
Yeah. And not only that, but because it's a spell, you can recharge it.
Yeah, you can do really cool stuff with spells like this card we have here.
But we'll get to that.
Really sweet. I think this is cool. And I like that it's a spell and that it's got charges, which makes it more useful for other people. The next Archaic Glyphs we have is Prophecy Foretold. It's it's the same stuff except for it's got a book and an agility icon instead of a book and a willpower icon. It's got the same text and it's a spell and it uses charges. It's got the same like upgrade text is what I meant. And as an action, you can spend 1 charge to investigate. If you succeed, you may automatically evade an engaged enemy. This action does not provoke an attack of opportunity. It's pretty sweet. That's solid for a seeker to be able to just like evade on an investigate test.
Yeah, and investigate like a duel.
And the theme comes through.
Yeah.
Which is fun for me because you are like, I knew they were going to be there, so they're not an issue. You're not an issue. You're basic. That's what it means.
It's very, very 1930s themed.
I know.
Very
you got your Ugg boots on and your pumpkin spice lattes. You basic. So I mean, both of these, I love these upgrade cards. They're so fun. Like, it was one of the things I like most about the game is this ability to kind of navigate your character along a path and have all these different like skill trees and stuff basically via cards. So I like the game because of the basic components and mechanics of it. But these upgrade cards always make it really fun because you can do stuff that like your character normally couldn't do that's outside of your class. Like the Strange Solution Acid one lets you actually fight really well. Like burns things and messes people up. So our first rogue card is called Cheap Shot. For a second I thought this was Cheat Death and I was like, I thought that was in the next pack. This is a 2-cost event with a fight icon and an agility icon. It's a trick. And it's got like some like kind of Yog-Sothoth-y eye thing there.
I love how she's throwing sand in the eyes of something that has like thousands of eyes.
Right? I mean, if you hit enough eyes though, it's gonna be like, ow, what the heck?
What's going on here?
Why do you do?
I'm down.
I love it's got a trick subtype, which I haven't seen before, which is kind of cool. But it says fight, which is interesting for a rogue card. It says fight. Add your, but then of course it comes back and says add your agility to your skill value for this attack. If you succeed by 2 or more, automatically evade the enemy. So you're still fighting, which means you do damage because you're fighting.
Yeah.
And then if you succeed by 2 or more, you automatically evade the attacked enemy as well, which is kind of sweet.
I loved this card when I saw it because you can do so much with it because you punch it, knock it down, and you can either like just run away, or if you have like you can Garrett, or like you can stab it while it's down and just do 2 damage. You could kill a 3 strength enemy in basically one go.
Yeah, and the backstab, right?
Yeah, backstab. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's sweet because like if you have 4 resources or 5 resources, you can just murder something straight out. This is really good against like massive bosses that have a low fight value but a huge evade value.
Yeah,
because you're like, I'm gonna like throw sand, literally throw sand in your eyes,
yeah.
And you're like, ow, why? And then we're gone, and it's really great because if it's a massive, you can evade it for everyone, which is really helpful. I think it's cool. I think too is in the wrong deck can be limiting because if you're like running backstab and sneak attack and cheap shot.
Yeah,
you could really be hurting for money if you weren't preparing for that turn. But that's my only criticism on this card that I think is really good. So,
yeah, true. But yeah,
and it does more for that 2 or 60 by 2 or more card. So anytime that I get to rub that in your face, I like this card. I like the card. Our next card is called. It's an upgrade to pickpocketing. So this is core set upgrades. So that book we talked about last time was actually a core set upgrade that Tyler I didn't really recognize, and it was a Book of Shadows. It was a downgrade though, which was why we were confused. But lots of cool core set upgrades whenever we get them. It's really fun to read them. 2-cost asset with the 2 experience pips. It's got 2 agility icons. It's a talent and it's illicit. It's fast, so you can play it fast. That's cool. And after you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing, draw 1 card or gain 1 resource, and if you succeed by 2 or more, do both. So unlike the original pickpocketing, which was just draw a card when you evade, you can actually choose which one you want, which is kind of fun. You can choose what you want to do, and if you're doing that whole succeed by 2 or more thing, you can do both.
Yeah, do both.
So if you do the last card we just saw, exhaust you get a card and a resource, and you just did the damage to an enemy, and it's evaded. So like, this is me stacking things.
It's just
you see it
forever.
You see? Okay.
Forever. You can throw dirt in their eyes, pick their pocket, and then just stab them.
This is you're picking the pocket of like a Yogg-Sothoth monster, which is like, what are you picking? But apparently it's a resource. They have like a spear stabbing out of there from someone else. It's like a gelatinous mob or ooze where you're just like pulling stuff out of it as you evade it. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking the rest of the game. But I think it's cool. I would upgrade to this if I was in that kind of evade style deck that would just evade monsters and get resources to help me do other things.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
think it'd be fun. Quantum Flux is our next card. It's our first mystic card. Mystic card. It's a 1-cost event with a wild icon on it. Wild. It's an insight. And it says shuffle your discard pile into your deck and draw 1 card. Remove Quantum Flux from the game. This would save you against that Dunwich crap.
Yes.
Where you're like, oh, if you have 0 cards, take 10 damage. And you're like, why don't I Quantum Flux that? I'm going to Quantum Flux you a question. Whatever your name is.
Exactly. It's kind of like a must-have for like anyone who could take it.
Yeah, I think it's
in Dunwich.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Like for that campaign, it's legit.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because like any deck that can run it, that's gonna be like wanting to recycle their assets. That could be really cool.
Yeah.
So like not like a Yorick. I don't even think Yorick could ever have this in his deck, but I think spells go away. Like they can get discarded and they can go away when they're done, and being able to get them back out again, or getting cards you did discarded for skill tests back out. Yeah. That's cool too. Resetting up any combos you had that you lost a piece for. This is a good card for that, and it's only cost 1.
Yeah.
And so for 1 resource you draw a card, which is even trade, I guess.
Yeah, it's not a bad deal. So.
Not a bad deal at all, kid.
Very nice.
The next one we have is called Recharge. It's a 0-cost event with 2 willpower icons on it. So it helps you cast if you want to cast, or helps you survive terrible things that come out of the encounter deck. It's 2 experience pips. It's a spell, so if you have
spells,
there's a lot of spells, right?
Yeah.
There's like a whole series of spells coming out that are like for other classes, like that. Like that one, like that Archaic Glyphs. You just gotta hold it up a little higher. There you go. Ooh. Okay. And this is a spell or relic too. So there's some relics that use charges, and I think one of them is the one that lets you draw another token if you so desire, like the stone grotesque statue or something like that. Controlled by an investigator. Choose a relic or spell. Choose controlled by an investigator at your location. Reveal a random chaos token from the bag. If you reveal any of the the symbol tokens, discard the chosen asset. Otherwise, add 3 charges to it. Wow.
Yeah, in theory, this is good.
Yeah, especially if you have something that can help you control, what you're drawing out of the bag.
Yeah.
There's a card last time that says you what is it? Like you choose a symbol type and you ignore it or something like that. But those kinds I don't think work against this. So like Jim's ignore the skull value is not ignoring the actual fact that you drew a skull. So you kind of have to avoid the token or redraw the token. So, but I think it could be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I draw a symbol pretty much every time I reach into the bag.
This is like special power.
Yeah. So
player power, not character power.
Yeah. It's my personal.
But I mean, you use it
power.
on something that so I actually think this is better than you think. So even if you are drawing blanks, I'm sorry, I'll let you finish first.
Oh no, go ahead.
Even if you're drawing these ones, you just play it when it has no charges left on it, and it gets tossed.
And
then you can pull it back out with other effects.
Yeah.
That way, it's off the board because normally it's kind of difficult to get stuff off of your table if you don't have stuff to play. And you're like, this one is like, well, either get it in the graveyard or get it to have charges.
Yeah, exactly. And you know the percentages in the bag, like, oh, there's a 30% chance to draw a symbol. So in theory, it's a good move. I just personally suck at drawing stuff out of a bag. Apparently,
I think if you're playing in the right deck, you can control a little more in the Mystic style what you're getting out of the bag. But it's only Mystics that can really do that, I think.
Yeah.
Only other person that can redraw is Wendy, and that's just her character ability. Our last set of cards is going to be the Rogue or the Survivor cards. Sorry, we have our final patron. I think I don't think there's any other patrons, but you have your 2-cost asset patron, who's Madame Lebranche, a mysterious benefactress, not a benefactor. She's female.
Right.
That's what we have to do.
Get that right. Yeah.
I know. Actor, actress, or are they just all actors? She's got a low book icon, and she's an ally patron, so allies care about a lot of different effects in this game right now. You can do lots of stuff. If you have no cards in your hand, exhaust her to draw a card. If you have no resources, exhaust her to gain a resource. So that's kind of cool. I think it could fit well in certain decks that care about that stuff, right? I'm thinking of the Dark Horse one. Like if you're running Dark Horse.
Yeah, that was my first thought too. And I think she's my favorite patron. Really.
She's like well costed.
Yeah, and like her effects are like, I have no cards, I'll throw you a bone. I have no resources, throw you a bone. And it's like the most survivory patron. And I felt like the rogue patron wasn't very roguey.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like it's the one that fits its theme the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that actually. To me, like we're in that Ash Campete deck, which is the Dark Horse deck.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool to be able to start a turn with 0 money or something like that, and go to like 2 or 3 depending on like how much I had out. And this is a card that will help me get more in that turn, which means that you can go from doing nothing a turn to doing a bunch of stuff, which is really cool. So I'm a fan of her. She just take up your ally slot though, so in that deck you probably aren't playing Peter Silvestre, which means that you're running into issues, but that's okay. You just get a charisma, and you can be like Ash Campete, the politician. You're like, I'm on a platform of moonshine, and they're like, Pete, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? This is the prohibition.
This is the 1930s. It doesn't work.
And he's like, well, I know what I'm about. And then he just lives in this shack in the woods and has people come visit him.
I can relate to the common folk.
Because I'm the most common. I have a dog. All right, our final one is called Snare Trap. It's a 2-cost event with 2 experience pips. It's got a willpower and an agility icon. It has a trap and it's improvised. So I think there's a few of these. Like there's the ambush card that came out last time.
Yeah.
And then there's the like barricade, and there's the trapdoor one. So there's a few cool traps. This one's attached to your location, a limit 1 per location, like any of the traps I think are. But it says forced after a non-elite enemy enters the attached location, exhaust the enemy, disengage it from all investigators, and attach Snare Trap to it. And it says when the attached enemy would ready, discard Snare Trap. So you basically just get to like auto exhaust and disengage an enemy.
I really like this card. I really like all the trap cards.
Because it makes you be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, because I can set it face down. But
I set a card face
yeah,
down, sorry.
yeah,
that wasn't clear to you guys.
But really, like, how many times does the creature come out when you're about to make a plan, and then it like comes out and it's like, I'm gonna haunt you forever.
Dang it.
But like you can just like set your trap, and then it like comes out, but then it's snared for 2 turns. And
no, it's only 1 turn. Because when it's ready, it's gonna ready at the end of the turn. Unless you can unless you can stop it from readying, which would be really cool.
Still.
Oh, actually, no.
Yeah.
It is 2 turns because it says instead.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Don't look at me like that.
Sorry.
Okay? I don't read these cards before we do this.
But like 2 turns, and how cool is that?
I wonder if like so in the other cooperative game they have called Lord of the Rings, the card game, they have these ranger decks, and ranger decks are all about controlling the board because they have like traps and they do things in the forest and all this stuff, right? I wonder if you could make a deck like that in this game where you like are like you're William York, right? Oh, maybe that's a new William York deck. Oh, it's events, not nonsense. But you could build a deck that has like all the traps in it and just be trapping and controlling the board state. So whenever you're about to like be in the scenario where you need to be at a location, this is the one you have to be at, and if any monsters spawn here, it's you're in a bad spot. You just like trap it, and then the next turn you trap it again, and you keep like running these traps so you can like just control the entire board and be in control?
I
Don't you say me.
no, you probably could.
wonder
I
if it's
mean,
true.
there's
You guys build it. Tell us if you think that's a thing that can happen.
do it.
Do it now.
It's a second Predator reference.
Yeah,
today.
there's one before we started filming.
Yeah.
You would you'd have to be here, I guess. Well, that's all we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let us know what you think about these new cards. I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I like this this release a lot.
We also like this game, so it's hard to not like it. If you all play in our area, which is the Parker area, or anywhere in Colorado, really, if you're willing to drive, I think we have. Eric, are you here still? Yeah. How many extra invocations do we have?
It's got like one full kit for 4.
And so the other one's already taken?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have one full invocation kit left, and we haven't decided on a date yet, right?
No.
Okay, and we haven't decided a date. So if you and 3 of your friends want to come down and play with the invocation event, that's going to happen sometime in the next few months. Come on down and sign it up for it. I think we have a sign up sheet you can call in as well if you want. But basically, the invocation event is a chance to get a really cool playmat, an alternate art daisy, and get the invocation cards, which is the cards that let you play like a super hard mode or like a variant version of the game where certain things happen beforehand. You're like cursed or something like that. So that should be happening in the coming months. If you're interested in that, come down or sign up for it. Like, comment, subscribe our videos if you are so inclined to do so. Also, leave comments if you don't like what we say or you don't like that we've renamed the Guardian class to Guardian Protector Warrior Paladin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yeah. See you next pack, investigators.
Whoa, you did it again.
I did
don't
it
think you did
again.
it. That's like happening every time.
Yeah.
Did you really do it every time?
Every single time. Every time.